What is up? Welcome back, YouTube. Hope you all had a lovely Easter. I know the hardest thing for me personally and for a lot of other people, getting the right diet in while you're training, while you're playing sports, while you're playing any sort of physical activity. While playing sports, it is difficult for us to try and get the nutrients that we need to fuel our body without sort of cutting shortcuts and watching what we eat. So in today's video, I'm going to go through with you guys a few tips and tricks on how to make it a really easy sort of step-by-step approach to work out what you need to eat, when to eat it, how much to eat, and get your body recovering and fueling it with the right foods to help you perform at your best. Let's get right into it. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a really simple, just step-by-step guide. You can pretty much just follow it along. I know for myself personally, I love lists. So, you know, dot points, all that sort of stuff makes it super easy to read, super easy to follow along with as well. So I'm going to sort of try and dot point everything you need to do from start through to finish, and just make this process as simple as it can be. That way we can sort of get you on a real basic plan, get eating the right foods, get you to fuel your body the way it deserves to be fueled from all the hard training that you guys are doing. Alright, so step one, what we're going to do, we're going to break this up into basically breakfast, lunch, dinner, and at the end, whatever we have left over, we're going to do snacks at the end. Okay, so step one is going to be breakfast. So for this first exercise, what I want you to do is basically think of maybe 3 to 5 things that you would love that you do like eating for breakfast. And we're going to work out, we're going to basically go through each of those, and we'll pick one. We're going to put it into an app that we're going to use. I'm going to use MyFitnessPal for today's purposes. You're welcome to use MacroFactor as another really good one, and there are other apps out there which help you track the foods and stuff you're eating. So for me, let's just pretend, so these are my 3 that I would like to eat. So we've got a breakfast burrito, we have yogurt with granola, fruit, and protein shake, or even just adding in the protein into your yogurt. And last one, we have scrambled eggs underneath with avocado and stuff on toast. So I'm going to pick just the one here. I'm just going to pick the breakfast burrito at the top here. Okay, so now that we've chosen the one of them, you can do this for all 3 to 5 of your meals that you're going to pick. What you're going to do now is we're going to go through, list out all the ingredients, how much, roughly to start with, of all those ingredients we're going to use, and put it into the diary here, like you can see here. So for me here, we got 4 eggs, 4 whole eggs, including the egg yolk and white. We've got our wrap. We've also got some onion. We've got some bacon. Just sort of roughly guessing how much I'm going to use here because we can adjust this later. A little bit of sriracha sauce, and finally finishing off with a bit of cheese on top as well. Cool. So we put all that in. Let's not worry too much at the moment about how much protein, fats, and carbs is in it at the moment, because at the very end of the day, we're going to work out where we can chop and change a few things at the end. Alright, so moving on from breakfast, we're going to move now over to lunch. So same thing, picking 3 to 5 things that you could rotate through this whole sort of cycle with, and we're going to write them down, and we're going to work through the same thing we did with breakfast. Okay, so for me, I'm going to go with some steak, sweet potato, and some veggies. So we've got steak, first thing on our list, then we got some sweet potato, how much? Usually going to be around 250 grams cooked, if not a little bit more. So that's the total there up on screen. Finally, now, moving away from lunch, obviously you do that again, or lunch, you don't pick all 5 and do all of them. That way you can chop and change as you want to. When things start to get boring, or you sort of want to change things up one week, then you can change it quite easily because you've already done the work prior. Finally, we got dinner. Again, same principle here. I'm just going to do this recipe that I found from Jeff Nippard. It's just a chili beef recipe. So here's the full recipe up on screen. Here's the protein, carbs, fats. I guess the serving size is another thing you can change as well. So what we can do now with anything left over, whether we're in the process of cutting or whether in the process of trying to gain some weight, if you're in the maintaining phase, then we can sort of stick with whatever your maintenance calories are and sort of work towards that. Whether we're cutting or gaining, we can now either chop and change some of the, if you're somebody who likes to snack throughout the day, adding 2 sort of snacks in throughout the day, you can sort of chop and change the calories based on what you want to do with that. So if you like having a muesli bar between breakfast and lunch, you can try and fit that in somewhere. For me, I find just having 3 to 4, sometimes 5 really satiating high protein meals is enough to get me through the day without having to snack. Plus it lets my stomach and my digestive system sort of recharge a little bit, and I don't feel so bloated throughout the day if I don't snack as well. So Here, for an example, we are over by 100 calories, and our breakfast, we can see it's probably a little bit too much on the higher end in terms of our fat or carb intake. What we can do is we can, for example, here we can maybe cut one egg back and cut back the amount of cheese we're putting on as well. And if you want to put sour cream or something on that and you want to cut that out as well, perfect. Obviously, we don't want to try and sacrifice our flavor for how much we're using, because at the end of the day, it's something we've got to eat all the time pretty consistently. Basically, doing this is in conjunction with already knowing what your protein, carbs, and fats are going to be for whatever period or cycle you're in, whether it's gaining or losing fat, gaining muscle, whatever it is. So here's another really quick and easy way to work out your maintenance calories and how much protein and fat you should be using. So I'll just pop that up on screen here, because that could be a whole nother video, which I have sort of done prior. I have done a video on how to track your calories and how to work out how much to be eating. That's one of my earlier videos. I'll link it up in the top here so you can have a look at that one if it's something you would like to do. But to be honest, doing it this way is just a great way to get a pretty quick and easy baseline of stuff you can eat, how much of it you can eat, and that way you're not sort of going through all that guesswork of weighing this, weighing that, going to the shops and buying stuff you don't need. You can sort of, if you've got a plan ahead, you can go to the shops, buy exactly what you need, you know exactly how much you need, how much you're going to weigh out for each meal, and it makes the process a lot easier. I hope that was useful for you guys. Tried to keep it as short and as simple as I possibly could. I could probably go into a whole hour or two of talking about how to work out your foods and your calories and the micronutrients and micro-dense foods and all that sort of stuff, but keep it simple, doing all the fancy stuff on top of that after. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to leave a like, hit subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. That way you know when my videos go live for you. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks. Peace. There's the Doge. The best fuel you need for your body is this.